What's going on, y'all? We back. Another week. Almost game time. Hit with some unfortunate news. A big blow. A big blow. But luckily, for all the years that we have invested draft capital into this team, especially this defense, the door is still open. This defense will still be great, but the defense could have been even greater. Trayvon. I said before the season started, I knew that we were going to face some type of adversity, but I didn't think it was going to be this. I didn't think it was going to be this. I know that it feels like Cowboy Nation got punched in the gut. I know the team feel like they got punched in the gut. It's unfortunate news. But if you want to represent Trayvon Diggs in the correct way, he would want you guys to ball out. See, one thing I know, team sports, if you're going to be a good team, you got to have some type of camaraderie. You got to have some type of brotherhood. And from what we see over the course of the years, they have developed that over time. So in losing somebody like Trayvon Diggs, they hurting. You know what I mean? They hurting. But we still got talent, as mentioned before. So what I'm going to do, since the scouting report didn't need to be so deep, we're going to dig into that, but we're going to dig into that toward the end of the slide. We're going to use the beginning of this slide to go ahead and talk about the injury and what the Cowboys will do thus forward, and also news that even though it's kind of being swept under the rug, it's kind of being overshadowed because it is a bigger loss as far as the longevity of the injury, but they also took another blow in the same day, which is going to hurt. And that's Tyler Biadasz. It's said that he had a hamstring injury. Don't know how bad. It could be a strain. Could be something like in the timeline of Tyler Smith. And if we're going off of that, it ain't looking like he's going to be here for the 49ers. If we're going off that. Now, to talk about Tyler Biadasz real quick, as we knew last year when we had to spend a game or two without him, especially that Redskin game or Commanders, whatever. I'm always calling the Redskins, y'all. You see a big difference. It don't matter how much talent that we had on that line. People don't understand how big Tyler Biadasz is to this team and not only to this offense. He's what make like everything go. He's smart. He's talented. He did his thing, especially against Quentin Williams. I was looking at it in the film. I was seeing when Quentin Williams would go ahead and commit to one side, he would seal him, kind of like Charles Barkley in the post. How he would say, hey, I'm going to let you get wherever you want to go, and then I'm going to keep you there. That's what he was doing with Quentin Williams. It was very impressive to see how he was doing his thing against him. Now, one thing's for sure, Tyron Smith is going to make this transition smooth as long as he stays healthy. So the question that we had since the beginning is, who is the backup center? So looking at your options, it's going to have to be none other than Zach Martin. Unless there's somebody that can play center that I didn't know. like a Bass or something, but I don't remember ever seeing him get no work in that center. I just remember him seeing him getting work at two guard spots. And Awesome Richards is a less solid player. And Edoga is our swing tackle, I guess, slash swing guard. But I didn't see none of them play center. And if you had to look at it, your backup center has to be Zach Martin. Now, the pieces that you have, now I don't know if Tyler Smith going to be playing. Quite frankly, I would sit him out one more week and just bring him back Patriots. Right? So, but we can go into how the lineup will look with Tyler Smith and how it should probably look without him. So, if it was with Tyler Smith, it should be Tyron, Tyler, Zach Martin, Bass, and Steele. That's a lineup that can still get the job done and still a good lineup. There's other teams such as the Cardinals who have a whole lot less. There's other teams who've been having a whole lot less and still making more with less, such as the Bengals, right? So, but we know that Dak Prescott needs that offensive line. If I pay you, Zach Martin, look, you wanted your money, you got it. You won the battle. Now, I know that you didn't want to play tackle that one time you were supposed to come in, but Zach Martin, what you got going on right here, what this team got going on here is something special. So regardless of you wanting to or you not wanting to, you're going to have to take your ass to center so we can win some games, so we can get this going. And Zach Martin at center, we ain't going to miss no beat, y'all. We ain't going to miss no beat. It's a bad boy. Zach Martin, his versatility, we good. This is the value of cross training, the value of the experience that we have at that offensive line. Now, if Tyler Smith doesn't play, is Edoga in? I'm pretty sure, because I think Edoga's injury is a matter of pain tolerance. It looks to me like that's a pretty tough dude. So I would tell you Tyron Smith, Edoga, Zach Martin, Bass, and Steele. Now, that interior offense line ain't as strong as it could be with Tyler Smith and Zach Martin at guard. Of course, that we all know that. That's common sense. However, that offensive line, especially the way that Bass has played, gives me a whole lot of confidence. See, when Bass came in the game against the New York Jets, he impressed me. I thought that, now I knew that Bass had good technique, but I thought that it was a possibility that if he did have to come in, that he could struggle with the strength aspect of it. But that wasn't the case. And he went against a nice defense, a tough defense, a strong defense with strong defensive tackles. Al Woods, Quentin Williams, there was some beast inside. And he did his thing against them. Now, you're going to see other talented defensive tackles along the way. But if he can handle that, that gives me confidence that he can go ahead and do a good job, especially against his Arizona Cardinals defensive line, who is trash. I'm going to be real. They're trash. They suck. But we'll get into that, though. But they suck. I know Stephen Jones said that it was going to be a battle. I guess. I mean, go ahead and give them their respect. Don't take them lightly. I understand that. But they suck. They suck. Even with the missing pieces that we have so far, we should still bang on them. We may have to adjust a little bit, maybe for about a quarter. But after that, guess what? We still got this defense. We're going to talk about that too, regarding this defense. But that's my thing with this offensive line. This offensive line can still be functional. And you're going to, and if it's the second option with the two rookie guards, or the Bass at guard and Edoga, then of course this short passing game it's gonna have to come into play as it's always been. We just been doing it with a better offensive line, but getting the ball out quick. This is perfect. That's why I said this is the perfect year for Mike McCarthy stressing to get the ball out quick and not allow Dak to go ahead and hold the ball longer than he needs to and babysitting him. By Mike babysitting him, it's going to make this transition smoother than it would have been with that other offensive coordinator in here. Now, if it was the other offensive coordinator, now we all would have been stressing. But with Mike McCarthy, we ain't stressing. What's that song? We ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing. He riding around with that. Now Mike McCarthy riding around with that Nina because he ain't worried about nothing. He ain't worried about nothing. Now let's get into Trayvon Diggs. Look, with Trayvon, it hurts. 2 lockdown corners on the outside. Now he only got 1. A ball hawk. Hustle. You see Trayvon going down and not only making plays when he got the ball in his hands, but also going down, hustling, and making plays, forcing fumbles. Somebody that was going to be just a talented corner all in all. And we're going to miss that. Oh, we're going to miss that. However, I'll tell y'all like this. Corners don't win championships. Corners don't. The Rams showed you that. The Bengals, the Chiefs show you that. Corners don't win championships. Now, we are lucky enough to have Bland coming to his own. We are lucky enough to go ahead and acquire Gilmore for $1.99 in a bag of Cheetos. We are lucky enough for that. But you got this up front who's going to make everything easy. And it ain't like you got bums at corners. They said, see, the only thing is, look, when I mentioned that corners don't win championships, the positions that it's going to come into play that you're going to need to even compete for that, you have that, and you have a lot of depth at that, which is the safety position, as we discussed. Y'all remember us discussing that? We've been discussing this for about a year and a half now. The safety position and up front, we got that. We'll be fine. All you need is just solid corners. Chiefs done won 2 Super Bowls with solid corners. Not elite, not no Ramseys, not no Gilmores, not no Diggs. But we're just solid corners. Good corners, solid corners that do their job and make plays and come up big when it's necessary. And you have that. Your secondary is still better than the Kansas City Chiefs. You got Bland, whose responsibility has been up tremendously with the loss of Trayvon Diggs. Bland is going to, I've seen that Bland is going to be moving to the outside, but he's also going to have to continue his inside responsibilities. That's a lot of pressure on Deron Bland, but he's handled it before since last year, and he did an excellent job even as a rookie doing that. Deron Bland is made for the moment, and it's an excellent draft pick, and he's going to be one of the important players on this defense. Jordan Lewis came right on time. Jordan Lewis, him being a vet savvy and also a solid corner, is going to come into play all year. You got Israel Mukwamo, who showed toward the playoffs that he's also a solid player. And he also will have a huge role with this team going on forward. And it's a possibility that we might going to have to see what the rookie got. We might going to have to see what this rookie got. Now, regarding coverage, I can do a few things. See, even though I lost Diggs, and I lost maybe a tad bit of my versatility of this defense, I lost something. But I still got a lockdown corner named Stephon Gilmore out of South Carolina who can lock down half of the field, who I can roll coverage to the other side. I still got a corner in Stephon Diggs, not Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Gilmore, who if I need him this Sunday to follow Marquise Brown, he can do that and lock him up because he's still that guy. Now, I know when we came in here, we wasn't asking him to be the number one. But in our reality, even though we weren't asking him, it looks like he played that part of him having two number ones. Because both of them was two number one corners. Now we only just got one number one corner. And that's how it always been. As in the league, we were just lucky to have two number one corners. Don't nothing change. When you got somebody like Micah Parsons and Tank Lawrence and company coming at you, don't nothing change. You should fear not. See, we had Diggs last year. But what was our glaring issues that we had? Not stopping the run. So no matter what we had with Diggs, we still didn't go to the promised land. But it looks like so far that we fixed them issues. It looks like so far that they even improved in pass coverage, whether it be their own getting better or adding to the equation, which is to push that pocket, which will allow more sacks and more pressures. As you can see so far, 10 sacks on the year already. This pass rush is better than it was last year, and that's because they having an emphasis on physicality. And as long as you got that, you're always going to be 2 steps ahead of these offenses. As long as you physical, you got them boys, and you got them boys that you can roll with all game, you still going to be that. You still going to be him Anthony Patterson, him Carey. You still got that. So fear not. We wish Trayvon Diggs a speedy recovery. And next year when he comes back, we're only going to be better. But go ahead and take your time, Trayvon Diggs, and get right. Because you the man in Dallas. So we waiting on the man to come back. But Bland, Israel, Lewis, Gilmore, Eric Scott, maybe Nashawn, maybe. No. If he come down later on the line, maybe. Or he done. I think he done. You kind of got to step up. Marquise Bell, Curse, your coverage is going to be necessary. A necessity. We lose, but we also gain. We getting some people back very soon. So don't nothing change as far as the expectations. Maybe some things may change as far as scheme-wise a tad bit at times when we go against certain personnel. But ain't nothing going to change because we still them boys, and we still got them boys handling what they need to handle. So fear not. Now, you could say, will the wind be knocked out of them a little bit as we start the game Sunday? It's a possibility. Like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. But they'll get back on track. When you got a leader, when you got a bad cornerback coach like Al Harris, who don't no matter what he comes in with is gonna always make him better. And if you ain't getting better getting coached by Al Harris, it's you. When you got championship coaches, no need to fear. This is what the injuries are a part of the game. Yeah, injuries is a bad thing and it hurts, especially when it hurts coming from big time players. But football, ain't nobody ever stayed healthy 100% in this football. Ain't no team ever been healthy 100% in this football. So it's part of the game. And y'all remember when I said, when we first started, I said, we're going to go through some adversity. Here's some more that we got to go ahead and overcome. But ain't no true championship team ever encountered a hurdle that they can't get over. Ever. No matter what you got, you still got each other. It's time to play ball, y'all. It's time to play ball. But let's get into this Arizona Cardinals. Let's get into them real quick, y'all. Let's get into it. And we're gonna talk about the offense. Now, when I wrote down some things, it kind of altered my thing with the injuries that we had yesterday. But it is what it is, right? So, in looking at this Arizona offense, right, their key players are Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz, Rondale Moore, who we are all familiar with, especially with Zach Ertz. Key matchups, Marquise Brown versus Gilmore. I want Gilmore on him all game. Because I won't blend on Rondale Moore, especially on third downs. Because Rondale Moore is a slot wide receiver who, if you let get going, he could hurt you to go ahead and continue to move these sticks. And we got Curse, Israel, Hooker versus Ertz. Them was the key matchups. And looking at that offense, barbecue chicken alert, is Will Hernandez in pass protection. Yep. Will Hernandez in pass pro is barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. Now, he's a tough little run defender, though, but lateral movement, never had it. Doesn't have it. Part of the reason why he was gone with the New York Giants. Just ain't got it. It's barbecue chicken. Now, Ertz and Brown will be his go-to targets, especially in the first drive. That's all he was pretty much going to, because that's all he's comfortable with. Them are his comfort zones, and you take that away, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day for that man. Long day. Now, we're familiar with Dobbs. We beat on him last year. I believe he's with the Tennessee Titans. We're familiar with Dobbs. But one thing that they're going to want to do and need to do, but I doubt they will do, is establish James Conner with that power run. When they did have success with the Giants and taking that lead, they was able to go ahead and give James Conner some chunk runs. He was able to be a little effective in the run game. But you take that away and you take his go-to targets away. Yeah, Dobbs is going to be a long one for you. Now, Dobbs, he's a mobile quarterback. One thing that you don't want him to do is improvising with his legs. He will run a lot of read options. He will go ahead. They will pay attention. Well, I know one thing that they will pay attention to is the ending of the second quarter with what's his name? Zach Wilson in the first drive of the New York Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if they went on ahead and take a thing or two from them drives and try to implement it to see if they can go ahead and start fast and start early. I'm pretty sure that they will, because he gonna be running for his life. He gonna run for it. He gonna run for sure. One thing I did see, there's a lot of throws over that middle. They want to attack that middle. When they run, I've seen a lot of off-tackle runs with Connor, and I've seen a lot of 13 personnel and for them attacking off-tackle with Connor. One thing that they do got some solid tackles. Humphrey, he been around for a minute. And Paris Johnson, y'all pretty familiar with Paris Johnson. As we talked, He was our number one rated tackle coming out, or at least that I had him as. And looking at them tackles, that's the best thing that they got going on in the offensive line. But just because it's their best thing doesn't mean that they can handle our best. And I'd be damned if I let Lawrence or Micah Parsons get cooked by a rookie tackle. Even though he's talented, but nah, this should be barbecue chicken. This should be barbecue chicken. But I did see, though, that Paris Johnson did have some good running game snaps, though. They was always concerned about his strength, and I didn't see any problem with his strength against the Giants. Terminator, Teflon. That's Hargrave look like he is made. Yeah, I didn't get to see that game. I was about to watch the replay of that game. I need to watch the replay. I didn't get to see that game. But yeah, Hargraves is a missing piece for them. That did make that he did soften that up because he's a good player. He was like that with Pittsburgh. That is a good piece that they thought that they can go ahead and replace with rookies in the throw-alongs. So yeah, they're gonna hurt from that, especially against us. They're gonna hurt. Eagles is definitely not a shell, but I mean, other than that, let's be real, y'all. Arizona suck. They suck. They suck. They do. I'm sorry, they suck. You just Zach Ertz, what he about 99 years old. Marquise Brown, you got to worry about his speed, his vertical threat, and worry about Rondale Moore out in the middle because they're gonna want to go ahead and test that. They're gonna want to see, even though I don't know why you would want to, but they're gonna try to test and see how we go against their wide receivers with the loss of these. They're gonna try to test that and see, but I don't think you want that. Because that means you're going to have to hold that ball some, and they don't want that smoke. They don't want that smoke. I believe that the spread for the Dallas Cowboys is 14. I think it went down to 14, if I'm not mistaken. I'll still take that spread. I'll be honest. If I'm a betting man, I'll still take that spread. Now, let's look at their defense. Let's scroll over to their defense real quick. Key players. Look, I'll be honest with you. I seen one dude, he had the hair. I can't think of his name. He made a couple plays, though, but he ain't did nothing to catch my eye. He got to catch my eye on Sunday for me to give him some respect. Key players, Zaven Collins, he's okay. He's cool. But other than that, with them key matchups that I had, it's going to be front versus front. And their front definitely shouldn't handle our front. I don't care if we banged up or not. I mean, I'd be damn if I let Carlos Watkins dictate how we gonna go ahead and get down in this game. Man, if you starting Carlos Watkins, that means your D-line down bad. They ain't got no Buda Baker. They ain't got none of that. They a shell of themselves. And one thing that I did see, though, a lot is that they brought Kayvon Wallace on safety blitz each game. Each game, toward the beginning of the game, they're bringing the heat with Kayvon Wallace. And if they're going to try to go ahead and dictate anything in this game, they're going to have to heat us up because they're not going to get pressure with 3 or 4. Come on now. They're going to have to bring 5 or 6. And that's the case, you still going to go ahead and get chipped up. You still going to get picked apart. So this defense, if we do it right, we do it our thing, we come out to play, they're going to be helpless. They're going to be helpless. I seen that Daniel Jones was giving them problems with improvising with his legs, and that was part of the reason why they came back in the game, because Daniel Jones went on ahead and took a little bit of initiative on his own to go ahead and create. Because no matter what they say, even though they got the addition of Darren Waller, let's just be honest with you, it's still not enough. It's still not enough. They still didn't go ahead and produce what they should have produced around Daniel Jones, because they thought that Daniel Waller was going to be enough. Nah. But one thing I do know is that the tight ends should have, even though the tight ends have been making a mark each game, your tight ends should have their biggest game this game, especially Jay Ferguson. He should have one of his biggest games. I wouldn't be surprised if he put up 80 in a tug. I seen that they allowed Miss Gay's speed on Jalen Hyatt. He went blew right past their defense. Now I don't know if Cook gonna be back. I ain't seen the most recent injury report though, but regardless if he back or not, I put Turpin to fly past him. Turpin to fly past him and get some bombs. So you still got speed to go ahead and Put pressure on them. It's not gonna work. I'd expect lots and lots of zone. I expect lots and lots of zone, lots and lots of heat. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Shred them apart. I want to see one. Yeah, get more reps on D. That brother. Yeah, he can play, but he probably gonna be in the back burner when Wilson come back though a little bit. Ooh, actually done went up plus I think AZ Tank for yeah. Y'all know my thoughts on Kyler Murray. That man don't love football. Daniel Jones had no help last night. Darren Wallace off his hill. Damn. Yeah, I'm about to watch the replay and see what they talking about. Yeah. Look, I looked and the second game they played didn't even give me enough. I went to look at some of the Redskins game. This team is trash. This team is trash. I even tried to force myself to look at some positive things that they could possibly do to us, and I couldn't come up with any. This team is weak, and if we don't go ahead and blow them out the water, I don't care who we missing. We could be missing half the team. We still should bang them. And if we can't bang these boys, then that's a problem. That's a problem. This team should not play with us. What we did to the Jets, what we did to the Giants, both of them are better teams. If you allow the Giants to come back, on you like that. Now, I seen Connor, he leaned out some. I could tell unless it's the jersey, he leaned out some and he got a little quicker. But still, it don't make no sense. He ain't flying past nobody. Connor ain't flying past nobody. If the DNs do what they did last game and setting that edge, Connor going to be in for a rough day. Rough day. Now, I don't like to take nobody lightly, but I also got to be honest with you. They just trash. They trash. Like I said, I know Stephen Jones had to say the right things. He don't want to go ahead and disrespect nobody and take nobody lightly. I understand. But coming from us, we know they suck. And we know that if they out there, I don't give a damn if we win this a close game. I'm still disappointed. It should not be close. It should not be close. It shouldn't be close. From Dowdle and Deuce, yes. And if Tyler and Zach Martin got a swing the center, both them boys gonna have to be essential in the passing game, especially Deuce. I like how they're using that screen game. I like how they're gonna go ahead and use that screen game. I love that screen game. That's gonna be effective this game too, especially with Deuce. Because with Deuce, you either got to worry about him getting motion him out wide. You got to worry about him the screen game, the outsides. You got to worry about Deuce. When Deuce in the game, you got to worry about a whole lot of things with Deuce. And they ain't got no linebacker. I think they got Kaiser White. Kaiser White can't run with no Deuce Vine. He can't run with no Deuce Vine. Look, y'all, I really, really spent time looking. I was like, yo, this defense just suck. It suck. You can literally do what you want to do to this defense. You can do what you want to do to this defense. You can go ahead. Dak Prescott can mess around and go to the sideline with the ball in his hand, and they probably still won't be able to get pressure. And then he go, oh, my bad, I forgot. I forgot. The play was going. They suck, y'all. They really do. They do. Yeah. Niners receivers always gonna block. Yeah, they for sure always gonna block. But yeah, there ain't too. That's why I made the scouting report for last, because there's not really too much to discuss with this Arizona, other than everything is gonna be on the Dallas Cowboys. Everything. Look, I'm sitting Cooks again. I don't care if he was almost thinking about playing. I'm sitting Cooks again. I'm sitting Tyler Smith one more again, so they can be ready for the Patriots next week. Dak Prescott got to be able to go ahead and get this one done. The defense, we still deep. We still deep. We still deep. So we're not missing anything. We're not. We're not. Now, I seen before I got on here, I seen a remark of Bart Scott. I think I'm gonna address that on my other page because I want to give him the work. And y'all know we try to keep it classy over here, but I might not keep it classy addressing this man on another page. He gonna have to get this work. He gonna have to get this work because I didn't like that. And you supposed to be a former player. You out there mocking Trayvon Diggs' injury. Like, when you think that was cool? You know, I see that Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith, they shut that down. Y'all know we ain't the biggest Stephen A. Smith fans. Y'all know that though. But one thing, they like, yeah, why'd you do that? Like I know y'all trying to go for ratings. Y'all try to get the audience and get a reaction though. But there's just certain things that you just shouldn't do, especially when you on the air. Like, and you do that, he whack for that. He whack. He whack for that. He whack for that. Like, that ain't cool, you know? Because if it was the other way around, he'd be crying, especially if it was the social media when he was playing, he'd be crying. Nah, man. So yeah, he gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. But like I said, we got things, and as mentioned before, I can't wait to see how Deron Bland takes on once again, but in a larger sample size, as far as being holding on to bigger responsibility of playing inside and out. Because, like I said, I know they wanted to toss him outside, but I love Deron Bland inside. I love him inside. I love that, and look, I'm just gonna he can handle it. I'm gonna put it all on him. You can do a similar thing like that with Lewis too. You can do a similar thing like that with Lewis, and Lewis will take turns in getting on Rondale Moore. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me go back to that. Lewis will see more with Rondale Moore. Let me see. Let me see. So we got, yeah, Michael Wilson, the rookie. I ain't really see too much from him. He had a couple catches though, but I didn't really see too much when I was watching the tape on him. But you never know. Oh yeah, they do got Zach Pascal and Greg Dortch, but that ain't nobody that you like. Oh my god. Oh Lord, we see Zach Pascal and Greg Dortch. Come on, man. They do got the big old nose tackle, the Tongan, Jonathan Ledbetter. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too familiar with. I've seen him a little bit though, but as far as him being a presence, I'm not too familiar with him. Uh, but like I said, Zaven Collins though, he decent though. He decent. Uh, Keytrell Clark, barbecue chicken. Marco Wilson, barbecue chicken. Jalen Thompson at safety, barbecue chicken. Kayvon Wilson is barbecue chicken. Kaiser White, they better hope Josh Woods is a protector, because we're gonna put bodies. It's the same thing when he's with Philadelphia. Just get to him in the second level, and he done for it. He needs to be free. You don't want him fighting over blocks, because if he got to get off blocks, that's not what he do best. He's best when he's free. That's why he did decent with Philadelphia when he had Hargrave and he had Cox and company help keep him free. But he don't have that same luxury with Carlos Watkins. Carlos Watkins is not going to consistently allow him to be free. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Yeah. But this 3-4, man, there's going to be holes that we should be taking advantage of. Like I said, this is barbecue chicken, y'all. This is barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. That ain't nothing. But yeah, need to go back and look at some film. But yeah, that's pretty much my time, y'all. If y'all kind of missed me breaking down the Zach Martin situation of Trayvon Diggs, I did that at the beginning of this video. But I appreciate y'all for coming through. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, y'all.